Well, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for tuning in to the Locker Talk podcast. I'm your host, Barry Barnes, founder and CEO of Locker-Report.com. And you guys can follow me at any one of my social handles on Twitter at Locker_Report, Instagram, LockReport100, all small caps, on Facebook, LockReport.com, and also Locker Talk Podcast. Now, make sure you guys always subscribe to it. Subscribe to this channel on YouTube, the Locker Talk Podcast. And you also can always check me out on the Bachelor News Radio Network anytime during the day, but all the shows are always live on Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Well, Week 17, the finale of the 2020 NFL campaign ended in the way it was expected to end, with utter great excitement. It was fantastic. The players from the NFL Regional Combine ended the finale, the regular season, with a bang, especially on the defense side of the ball. Everyone get right into it as we talked about these great players all season long, and we're going to continue because we know that these guys will continue to grow into their talents on a level of football where they always felt that they're where they belong. And they've been showing it. A lot of guys been showing it. And one of the guys that's been showing it all season long is Houston Texans linebacker Terrell Adams. Now, Terrell Adams is a very interesting story because he's been in the league for several years before his true breakout season in 2020 really happened. Bounced around a couple of teams, pretty much was always on special teams. But in 2019, to end out the rest of the regular season in the last 2 to 3 weeks, he really started to show that he can be one of those type of guys that can be a fluent tackler, a pure tackler. And then entering 2020, that's when he really got that full-time role when he stepped in due to some injuries to some players. But he had showed taking advantage of the opportunity, being persistent, persevering through the storm of getting the opportunity of getting to the NFL. He is a classic example. And 2020 was his breakout year. 125 tackles, the most tackles that a defensive player who ventured through the NFL Regional Combine platform had amassed in one season. So that was history made for the platform. But in Week 17, going against the Tennessee Titans, who did win the AFC South Division crown. Congratulations to those guys. However, what Adams was able to do for himself and for the Houston Texans was great. In this matchup, he left it all on the field, garnering about 11 tackles in this game. He really went out and showed what he was all about. I mean, big stops here, as we see what he did with Ryan Tannehill, how he did help slow down this touchdown as he stuck him at the goal line, making sure he was not get across there, actually pulled them back. There was some great stuff there. Very tenacious, very tenacity, very strong, very powerful move on his role. Not afraid to go up against anyone as you go up against the likes of King, Derrick Henry. It doesn't matter. Terrell Adams is a true baller. He showed that in this season, and I'm very excited for this young man as he continued to further his career in the NFL. And the best part about those 125 tackles, 76 of those were solo. So this young man, I'm telling you, right time, right place. What's that phrase they say? Better late than never. I think he's about 28, 29 years old. In the prime of his career, a lot of things can happen for this young man, the way how he's playing ball. I hope that the Houston Texans will continue to keep him there. But wherever he goes or whatever happens going into 2021 season, he was shown that he can be that type of star player in the NFL. Now, with him garnering 125 tackles, he actually surpassed one player who actually set the record last year, and that's Washington football team's linebacker Cole Holcomb. Cole Holcomb in his rookie season last year had 105 tackles. This year, he had close to around 70 tackles. Now, for some reason, I don't know what Cole thing is, but he have a knack of lifting people up. I mean, he did it in Week 17 against the Philadelphia Eagles, lifting players up. He did it against the Dallas Cowboys earlier this season as well. He just have a knack of doing that. But one thing he have a knack is finding a nose to the ball, making stops as well. A legitimate piece that the Washington football team have on the defense side of the ball. And Cole is definitely making his presence felt on that team that's really starting to rise to becoming a solid defensive unit in the NFL. So make sure you keep your eyes out on number 55, as these guys was able to go and win the NFC East, and now they're ready to get prepared for the second season of the NFL. Now, when we continue to talk about great players that's really showing, or I would say, persistence-wise, just like Adams. Now, Adams is one of those guys that is a great example. And another young man is treading the same journey as Terrell Adams. And I'm talking about Buffalo Bills linebacker Mike Love. Mike Love, one of my favorite guys who came through the process. All of them pretty much my favorite guys, but there's certain ones that stick out. And Mike Love is one of those guys that stick out. Now, entering week 17, he was promoted to the active roster. And I'm telling you, this young man from South Florida has a high energy, high motor. He wants it. He is hungry. He definitely wants to get show what he can do in the NFL. He is one of those caliber guys that's really going to show out during his career in the NFL. And he really got a chance to really show what he was able to do against the Miami Dolphins, who were trying to get into the playoffs. But when you have players like Mike Love that's going to fight on every play, they really made it hard for the Dolphins to win that game. But play in particular, 2 minutes left in the first half, Miami Dolphins was facing second and goal from the Bills' 7-yard line. Rookie quarterback Tua Tagovailoa received the ball from under center and actually wanted for a jet sweep as he get an inside handoff to rookie wide receiver Lynn Bowden II. Now, as soon as Bowden touched the ball, Mike Love burst through the hole, wrapped his arms around him. Now, Bowden tried to spin free, but Mike, his grip, the hunger that this young man had, he would not let him go. He wound up keeping him, and although Bowden was trying to spin out, Mike Love still had him in his grasp until Bowden realized, let me just get down before I get my head taken off. Great play by Mike Love to make that big stop in that matchup. Many more plays going to come from this young man. Keep your eyes out for number 56 for the Buffalo Bills, Mike Love. He has something. Keep your eyes on him. Congratulations, Mike. Keep on fighting, brother. We got your eyes. NFL Regional Combine. You're going to become a pioneer. You're a legend. Keep on doing it. A lot of guys looking up to you from that school, and guys who have been overlooked looking up to you, so keep up the good work. Now, speaking of guys being looked up to, Kenny Moore II, cornerback for the Indianapolis Colts. Now, this guy had a great season this year, 4 interceptions and a touchdown. And here on this play, on a scoop and score, hey, boom, second touchdown this season. I was going crazy. I was like, yes. I was all in my office like, yes, second touchdown of the year. Only problem was the receiver didn't have full control of the ball. So this touchdown did not count, which sucks. There had been his second touchdown this season. Didn't happen. However, that play didn't count. But this sack count, so that was awesome. So watch out. So this sack definitely count. In the second quarter, 13 minutes, 47 seconds on the clock, Jaguars is facing 2nd and 5 from their 45-yard line when quarterback Mike Glennon took the ball from under center. Glennon went to play action, dropped back, and when he stepped into the pocket to avoid the pressure, Moore came around the backside and ultimately had brought him down. And of course, after every good play, Moore like to do his dance. But anyway, other than the dancing, his play on the field is outstanding. The Colts were able to get to the postseason. He's one of the reasons why they've got to the second season. Fantastic game from Moore in this matchup as he continued to really show that he's one of those players that's rising to become an elite defensive back. He finished with 8 tackles in this matchup. Looking forward to seeing what Moore is going to do as the second season progresses for the Indianapolis Colts. Now, Benson in my way. We've been talking about this guy all season long as well. He's what I would consider a very under the radar type of defensive end. Now, he have a knack of getting to the quarterback, making strong plays towards the end, creating turnovers. He did it earlier this season with the Atlanta Falcons as he was able to stop Matt Ryan. So it's not the first time. Now, in this matchup with the San Francisco 49ers, he wound up doing it again. He has a knack of getting to quarterbacks and causing big plays in the game. Now, in this matchup, he did have 2 sacks. But this sack was the big stopper that actually allowed their offense to really put the game away against the San Francisco 49ers. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in regulation. The 49ers was facing 2nd and 10 from their 25-yard line. Quarterback C.J. Beathard received the ball for shotgun formation. Beathard did not feel the pressure that he was surrounded by with the defense. And that's when you saw Benson coming around the edge on the backside and speed rush left tackle Justin Skate and strip sack Beathard. That's when we saw the Seattle Seahawks defensive end, Rasheem Green, recover the loose ball. The turnover, like I said, put the offense in position where they was able to put the game away, and they did. So Benson in this game, I'm telling you, fantastic play, how he was able to get to the quarterback to create the big loss. Now, one of the things that even Pete Carroll, his head coach, had mentioned that he wished he had this young man for the entire season. He missed, several games this season, but when he was on the field, he made things happen. And this is a quote from Pete Carroll. Quote, "Wish we just have him all year. He missed some time with us. He's really savvy football player. He have good stuff, good moves and things, and you just need to give him his turns. He's just been a real good positive addition, and we've been really lucky to have him." Now, according to Pro Football Focus, going back to week 15, Benson was the 6th best overall grade of 88.1% for edge rushers in the NFL, and he actually was also tied 6th in total quarterback pressures. So that says a lot about what he is doing, how he's been all season, kind of a quiet storm with Carlos Dunlap coming over for a late addition, really opening up even more things for him. So let's watch out for what he's going to do as we continue to look what's going to happen in the second season of the NFL. Now, Carolina Panthers defensive end, F.A. Bada, he just started the season off. For some reason, he had a knack of just bringing down legendary quarterbacks. You see here how he got his hands on Tom Brady early this season, and then we see what he was able to do when he got to Aaron Rodgers when he made that big stop in week 17. In week 16. So we see that he had a knack of getting to great players. And in week 16, he did not stop. He got the Drew Brees. Fantastic. The guy's good. Foreign-born player. Came through the NFL Regional Combine platform. Is the face of the international players pathway that the NFL has set up for foreign-born players to get an opportunity to become NFL players. He's definitely the face of that platform. So, big play in the game in the first quarter, 6 minutes, 24 seconds on the clock. Brees received the ball from shotgun formation from the Saints' 25-yard line when they was facing 3rd and 5. Brees, of course, had his eyes down the field, and when the pocket had collapsed, that's when he tried to get away. But F.A. Bada, he started to chase him down. F.A. hit Brees from behind, causing him to fumble the ball. The Panthers quickly tried to recover the ball, but the ball did bounce out of bounds. So that was a turnover that the Panthers almost had. F.A. Bada did his thing in this game, making the big plays that he needed to make the plays. He had one tackle. That was that big sack they had on Drew Brees. Fantastic player. Continue to watch out for number 94 for Carolina Panthers. He's going places. He's going to do great things in this league and be that representative, letting everyone know that, hey, it's not the first time a foreign-born player was able to be successful in the NFL. But it just showed that the international player pathway program is legit, and they know how to find talent to transfer their skill set to be able to become NFL players. And he is definitely, clearly an example of that. Now, for the wrap-up, we're going to talk about also Tay Crowder, rookie linebacker for the New York Giants. New York Giants, a tough battle going up against the Dallas Cowboys, but this was the first time that Crowder actually led the team in tackles, as he finished with 11 tackles in this matchup. This young man is starting to learn the game, being around Blake Mendez, learning how to control his speed, how to turn it on, how to turn it off. This young man's going to have he's going to do some great things in the NFL. Forget that Mr. Irrelevant last draft pick for the 2020 NFL draft. Hey, forget about the other Tay Crowder in the NBA. I'm not going to use this guy face no more, because Tay's going to make his own name, and everyone's going to know about this Tay Crowder. So make sure you continue to watch out for this young man as he continues to do his great things in the NFL. Keelan Cole, wide receiver from Jacksonville Jaguars, he finished with 3 receptions and 26 yards. Los Angeles Chargers, wide receiver Tyrod Johnson, man, listen, he had 2 catches in this game for 26 yards. Didn't catch the deep ball in a while, but that's all right. He didn't finish the season with a deep ball, but he did finish the season with a strong run here on a nice play that he had on a catch and run as he flying down the field. He find an open lane trying to make a play, and next thing you know, he tried to run over a guy from the Kansas City Chiefs. That was an aggressive nature from Tyrod. The Chargers did leave the game victors against the Kansas City Chiefs, although for the Chiefs it didn't do anything for them, but for the Chargers did a lot for them, as far as confidence-wise, and Johnson's one of those guys who fed off that confidence and knowing that going to 2021, watch out, folks, number 83 for the Chargers. This dude is going to light it up in the air in the NFL, just like this guy I'm about to talk about right now. Talk about Green Bay Packers tight end Robert Tonyan. I'm telling you guys, get used to that combination. Robert Tonyan from Rodgers, it's legit. He caught his 11th touchdown of the season against the Chicago Bears to end the regular season. I'm telling you, this young man is going to do some great things. You want to hear his name a lot during the postseason. You heard his name a lot during the regular season, not only from this great show, but from around the media. They're starting to realize and catch on to this guy. But hey, we here at locker-report.com on this show, this podcast, we've been on Robert ever since he got into the league. So it's new for the world, not new here. Keep up the good work, Robert. 11 touchdowns from the great Aaron Rodgers. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do in the postseason. Now, that was Week 17, the NFL season. Fantastic, as usual. Been watching all these talented players from the NFL Regional Combine platform do that thing. They had a great season. We're not finished talking about the 2020 season in regards to the NFL Regional Combine players. We're going to talk about the players on the offense side of the ball, the players on the defense side of the ball, break down their stats. We're going to get into it all. Also talk about the top 10 players who came through, the top 10 players from the Regional Combine for the 2020 season. A lot to get to with these guys. I'm telling you, this is the part of the NFL that no one knows about, but y'all will know about it through this podcast. I'm Barry Barnes, founder and CEO of locker-report.com, and you guys can follow me at any one of my social handles on Twitter, locker_reports, on Instagram, LockReport100, all small caps, on Facebook, LockReport.com, also the Locker Talk Podcast on Facebook, and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, Locker Talk Podcast on YouTube, and guys will always catch you on the Bachelor News Radio Network. Folks, the second season about to start. We're going to get into it. We got some players from the NFL Regional Combine that's looking to shine for the Super Wild Card Weekend. Everyone stay tuned and locked in. Let's get it.